Try something right now. Just notice your breathing. Don't change it, just notice it. Something already shifted, didn't it? Maybe it feels slightly forced now. Maybe you're wondering if you're breathing normally now. Maybe you just took a breath that felt a little too deliberate. You've been breathing every few seconds for your entire life, and the moment you paid attention to it, it stopped feeling automatic. Breathing is unique among everything your body does. Your heart beats without your permission, your digestion runs without your input, your pupils dilate and contract without any instruction from you. These are all autonomic functions, processes controlled by a part of your nervous system that operates entirely below conscious awareness. Breathing is also autonomic. It runs continuously, around 20,000 breaths every day, adjusting its rate and depth based on your body's needs without you ever having to think about it. But breathing has something none of those other functions have: a manual override. You can slow your breathing down right now. You can speed it up. You can hold it for 30 seconds or breathe in a deliberate rhythm. Try doing that with your heartbeat. You can't, not directly, not in the same way. This dual control, automatic and voluntary, running simultaneously, makes breathing one of the most scientifically interesting systems in the human body. And it explains exactly why, the moment you noticed yours, it changed. Here's what's happening in the brain. Automatic breathing is controlled primarily by the brainstem, specifically a region in the medulla oblongata that generates the basic rhythm of inhale and exhale continuously without any input from conscious thought. This rhythm adjusts in real time. When carbon dioxide builds up in your blood, which happens when you're active or stressed, the brainstem responds by increasing your breathing rate to clear it. It's worth pausing on that for a moment. It's one of the biggest misconceptions about breathing. Most people assume the urge to breathe comes from needing more oxygen. But the primary driver is actually carbon dioxide. It's not a lack of oxygen that makes you gasp after holding your breath. It's the rising level of carbon dioxide that your brainstem can no longer ignore. Layered over this automatic system is the motor cortex, the part of the brain that handles voluntary movement. When you decide to take a deep breath, or hold your breath, or breathe in a deliberate pattern, the motor cortex steps in and temporarily overrides the brainstem's automatic rhythm. Two systems running in parallel, handing control back and forth. And this is why noticing your breathing disrupts it. The moment you become conscious of your breath, the voluntary system activates. Attention is a form of intention. Your motor cortex, primed for action, begins to influence a process that was running perfectly well without it. Suddenly you're asking, am I breathing correctly? Is this the right depth? Should it be faster or slower? Questions that the brainstem never needed to ask because it already knew the answers. The good news is this never lasts long. The moment your attention moves elsewhere, to this sentence, to a sound in the room, to whatever comes next, the brainstem quietly takes back control. And within a few breaths, you've forgotten you were breathing again. But here's what makes this dual system genuinely remarkable. Because breathing sits at the intersection of voluntary and autonomic control, it's one of the very few ways you can consciously influence your own nervous system in real time. Slow your breathing deliberately, extending the exhale in particular, and you directly stimulate the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is the primary channel of the parasympathetic nervous system, the system responsible for calming the body after stress. Research consistently shows that slow, controlled breathing reduces heart rate, lowers blood pressure, and decreases physiological markers of anxiety. Ancient traditions, pranayama in yoga, breathing practices in Buddhism, techniques used by military personnel before high-stress situations, all arrived at versions of this same principle long before neuroscience existed to explain it. The body has always known that breath is a lever. Science is now explaining why. So you have a system in your brainstem that has kept you alive through every second of your life, every night of sleep, every moment of distraction, without ever asking for your attention. And the one time you give it your attention, another system quietly steps in and takes the controls for a moment. That's not a flaw. It's what happens when two systems share the same controls. That's human source code. Next time, something your body does to protect you that sometimes won't stop. Something that can last for days. And something that once reportedly afflicted a man for 68 years. See you there.